games? What did you see?
Well, we didn't let anybody get 33 on us, so that was a big help. I think we were more more conscientious in knowing who we really had to work hard on, and I thought we did a really good job with that. I thought our effort was way better. Our communication was better. We just approached the game with a different, I think, with a different mindset. But at the same time, we were up 9 down there, and then it got away from us, and it was a 2-point game at halftime, and we just, so we learned a little bit about, how we got to play and what happens when they punch back, and what happens when it becomes a little bit of a, back and forth. So I just think we became a little bit better team today.
Geno, there was a point in the second quarter where what you were just talking about, where it was you guys were up by like 4, and then Paige had steal and a lay, and then you guys were off.
Yeah.
Running. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
There's I don't care how many good players you have. There's still a pecking order on your team, and I do think that there's players on our team that, like there would be on any team, they know what they're good at, but they need somebody to kind of light that fuse, and feel like that they can feed off of them, And Paige became that today. She became that lightning rod that just started the whole thing. And you looked at that team that was out on the floor. We had 3 freshmen out there. We had KK, Ashton Shade, and Ice. So we had a lot of young guys that I think benefited from the way Paige took over the game.
Geno, did you see something different in her eyes after she got poked in the eye and fallen on? It's almost like she needed to get jabbed pretty good, and it really ignited her.
Yeah, she's she's an interesting kid, and she attracts hits, and she gets hit a lot. But it's never bothered her. It's never slowed her down. It's never made her change. If anything, she wants to play so bad that I think that whenever there's an incident like that, she comes back maybe even more determined somehow. She doesn't want to go to the bench. She doesn't want to feel sorry for herself. She's just a unique kid, when it comes to that.
Geno, you mentioned on the radio about the game there last year and your celebration.
Yeah.
How much did that play into kind of the tenacity?
Yeah, I don't know anymore. Like, do people really hold grudges like that? The people remember stuff like that. Back in the day, somebody looked at you funny walking down the street 6 months ago. You're like, I can't wait to see that guy so I can punch him again. Now today it's like something happens, you just move on, your life goes in, hey, you remember that? I kind of do. But sometimes, you're surprised that things do stick. And I think this one stuck. That might have been one of the best games we played all last year, considering who we had on the game. And we turned it over 30 times, whatever the hell it was. And we were down 5 with 4 minutes to go in the game, and we had 70 points sitting on the bench. It was incredible that we were in that game at all. So, we didn't win. And the reaction by the other team was exactly what it is everywhere we go, and we lose. It wouldn't matter if my grandsons were playing, you know. Connecticut's Connecticut, and people love to celebrate beating Connecticut. So that stuck with them. This one did.
Stuck with your players.
Yeah, I think it did. I think it did. I think if I hadn't said, let's slow this game down a little bit, it would have been, yeah. Yeah, I was happy the way they responded.
How was everyone's spirits after AZ goes down, and how much of an adjustment was that when you don't have her just a couple days ago?
I addressed this in the locker room after the game. I said, you know, over the last 3 years, it seems like there's always something. There's always something that we have to deal with. Sometimes it's minor, you know. This one might be minor. Sometimes it's minor. Sometimes it's major, you know. But it seems like we've always handled it really, really, really well. We've always been pretty resilient. I mean, for us to win 31 games last year, given what we went through, you know, they respond. You know, they don't pout. They really don't. So when I said, hey, we're just going to have to, you know, figure this one out for however long this is, you know, whether it's today, tomorrow, you know, at least through Saturday, and then we'll see what happens after that. So it changes your rotation, obviously. It changes maybe the way you want to play. It certainly changes your offense. The flow, maybe half court, isn't going to be as – it's pretty easy when your offense is stuck and you just go like this and the kid makes 3 straight threes. Like our offense was stuck against NC State. And the next 3 times down the floor we ran, what's this offense called? Pass it daisy. And, you know, we'll see where this case is.
How did the injury happen? And
the way they all do. Honest to God. The way they all do. I'm standing here. She's over here. Takes the ball. Dribbles. Stops. Shoots it. And says, that felt funny. And walked to the training room. And I'm like, shoot. Stub her toe. Turf toe. What? That felt funny. You know, maybe it was her ankle, maybe it was, and I guess we'll find out. But it's like most all the other ones that have happened. Nobody near them, just random stuff.
The usual tests tomorrow, the MRI.
Yeah, yeah, but it may, she's got some swelling in it, so they might have to wait a little bit longer to do it.
Is that on Tuesday?
What's today?
Thursday?
Oh, when did it happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday, yes. Tuesday after practice. Towards the end of practice, yes.
Geno, can you talk about Aubrey filling in for her? I mean, she had, what, 13 rebounds tonight and a bunch of blocks.
You know, I love when players play to their identity. You know, if you look at Aubrey and you say, wow, look at that kid. What she should be able to do? Well, she should be able to play defense, rebound, run the floor, and block shots. And you look at it today, and it's exactly what happened. So sometimes, you know, you have a kid that you say, well, when that kid touches the ball, 5 or 6 things can happen. And that's not Aubrey's game. Like, when she touches the ball, it's a layup. She gets an offensive rebound, it's a layup. Maybe she knocks one in. But today, she did exactly what? Because you think about it. Losing Dorka, that's like 10 rebounds a game, right? Somebody's got to fill that void. And right now, Aubrey's that person. Aaliyah's going to get what Aaliyah gets. But I thought Aubrey was fantastic today. I thought she was a difference maker. Big time.
How about the 2 freshmen?
Yeah.
Really...
That run we had was with 3 freshmen, right? It was KK, Ash, and Ice, right? So we're going to give those guys minutes. They're going to get a chance to play because that's the only way they're going to get better. And I was absolutely thrilled at the way they handled themselves. That second quarter was pretty cool to watch them do what they did.
Obviously, you guys still have a lot more to the season, but what do you think is it going to take to sustain this kind of confidence and energy? Is it going to be Paige going off every night, or is it something just with the team?
It may have to be Paige being that every night. And, you know, I would think it's not a lot to ask. You know, just show up every night, get like 27, find somebody open it, like, you know, make great defensive plays. I mean, you're the highest paid player, one of the highest paid players in the country. Ain't like we're asking you to make 12-inch cinder blocks like my father did. Just come out here and play basketball, have fun, and collect your checks. Coaching pro teams now, the highest paid guys, got to give you the most.
Depending on how long AZ's out for, what do you need to see from your team to kind of withstand that? Is it kind of going off with?
Yeah. Well, we need the freshmen to do exactly what they did tonight. You don't have, you know, however long that this wait is, you don't have anybody to plug in and say, okay, go out there and shoot it like AZ. Go out there and give us what she can give us. So you're going to have to get it different ways. So Aubrey tonight gave it to us a different way. Ashton Shea gave it to us a little different way. KK gave it to us a little different way. And that's the only way I think that we can make up for it.
What about Caroline?
When Caroline's got it going, I might play her 39 minutes. And when she looks a little bit off, like she did today, then I got to try to figure out what am I going to do about it. So I don't know that it was as much Caroline today as a decision that I made. But yeah, we need Caroline to be Caroline. I mean, you think about it, we scored 80 points, and we got none from her, I don't think. Did we? She get a bucket?
1 point.
She
One free throw.
she made a free throw. Yeah. So I know that there's going to be nights when it's, but you can't tell, you know. Shoot around today, she shot the ball the first 10 times she made it, and she was 10 for 10 from all over the floor. So I watch, I see, what do we do? What do we got going here? And some nights it's going to be a lot. Some nights it's going to be not as much. And plus, you know, given her history of stuff, you just don't know. So you just kind of go by what you see. When it looks like great, and she's a huge factor in what we want to do the rest of the season, for sure. I mean, she's not going to not start the next game, that's for sure.
Geno, the 16 steals kind of jump off the page when you look at it. Is that a function of the matchups or a function of
Effort.
the way you guys play?
Effort. Yeah. It might be the first time in I don't know how many years that we've had that many steals. I used to get a lot of those back in the day. But it's harder to play like that when you only have 6 players because everybody's trying to save energy and you're trying to stay out of it. But when we have more players available to us, we can take more chances. We can press up a little bit more. Look, if you got to walk the ball up the floor the whole game and run your half-court offense the whole game, like we did against NC State, like any team that has to do that, you're going to have a hard time winning. You got to get some easy buckets. And today, those steals led to a lot of good stuff.
You know, yesterday the kids were saying how that NC State game, they were embarrassed about it, but you said like they have to, you know, come out and show it.
Yeah.
You can't just say it,
Yeah.
but they really did come out with the extra effort
Yeah.
and the defense, and like they did everything.
It was
they had to
different.
do.
It was different. I just hope they don't go, see, showed you, and then go back to hibernation, you know. I hope this becomes the norm now, because obviously it's in there. You know, our program's always been based on that. You know, I don't know how many years in a row we led the country in field goal percentage defense. You know, and how hard it was to get shots against us. You know, and if we're not doing that, then we're not playing Connecticut basketball. And today we did.
Looking at KK specifically, Coach, how did you see her take a step forward in her game tonight?
You know, when she went out there the first time, I think it was in the first quarter, and she came out, I don't think she got anything accomplished. And I remember asking her when she came out, I said, you have a steal, you have a rebound, you have a bucket, you have an assist. It was nothing, 0. And then when she went back out, it was like a flip. She's capable of being a single-handed press breaker, and when she gets in the lane, she's strong enough to get hit and finish somehow. She's uncanny with that. There's a lot in KK's tank, a lot that she can do, and she's a young kid, and I just love her spunk, and I love her enthusiasm, and she has a great way about her. You know, she's engaging with everybody, and I love that about her.
What do you like about Ashlyn?
Same thing. You saw her today. Kid plays hard, man. She competes. She competes. There's no substitute for that. The kid's a competitor. She wants to be good. She wants to contribute. You know, she had the big drive to the basket to get her going. Made a huge 3 from the corner. You know, fights for rebounds. She's not sure yet that she can be that good because she's somewhat cautious at times. You know, I should show her films of Shea when Shea was a freshman. You know, she's like a mini Shea. You know, she's a workout freak. I just got to show her the way, you know, Shea played. I think Shea still has shot the most free throws in the history of Connecticut basketball. If the basket was where Dom is, and Shea was going to the basket, and she saw that you were standing over there, first she'd go over, elbow you in the head, and then come over and get the layup. And she would get the free throw. It's the most craziest thing I've ever seen. So I think that might be her someday. All right, guys. For one day, we staved off the demise of the team, the program. For one day, we returned.
Dynasty